Welcome back to episode 2, 2021 of MLM Renegade. You guys, today I'm going to talk about a social media post that I saw from a friend of mine that really got me thinking, and really, it's the key to everything. So here's the million-dollar question. How are network marketers like us, who've tried everything their upline ever suggested to be successful, and yet still struggled, who grew up with technology and aren't stuck in the 20th century, how are we supposed to grow our downlines and our bank accounts, and yet still have time for real life? My name is J.R. McKee. Join me as we explore how to use 21st century learning and technology to grow our downlines and build lasting wealth. Simply put, this is MLM done different. Welcome to MLM Renegade. So guys, today I was thinking about, okay, I need to record a podcast episode. I need to get that consistency going. You know, Wednesdays are my day to do that. And I actually had some issues arise from my day job that popped up and delayed this by, we'll call it a couple of hours is all. But I was scrolling through Facebook and came upon a post from a friend of mine. Nick Jackson, you're out there? Good job, dude. It was actually a repost from Ed Mylett. Ed Mylett does some incredible kind of motivational, he's definitely a kind of get in your face motivational speaker. And the post said, you cannot break free from the crowd while seeking approval from it. And boy, I tell you, this, it kind of hit me. Frankly, it hit me square between the eyes. So often, for most of our lives growing up, we're always seeking approval from those around us. You know, I have children in elementary school and junior high school, in high school and college now. And I see my kids struggle with, you know, wanting to be popular. Just for clarity's sake, I was not the popular kid in high school. I wasn't. In fact, I spent my sophomore year sitting in a back hallway playing Magic the Gathering with some people who I thought were friends, but looking back on it, probably not so much. But yeah, I was one of those kids as a sophomore in high school. I just didn't have a lot of friends. I was new to a school. It took me a little bit. And but I finally found my footing. Well, some of my kids I see having similar struggles, and they've got friends all over the place, which I did, but they weren't necessarily part of the crowd, part of the in group. And some of that was my beliefs as well. Both my religious beliefs kind of set me apart, and maybe different than the other kids. And as you know, in high school and in junior high school, being different is not a good thing. That's the funny thing, is that being an adult, in business especially, being different is a good thing. But we all are permanently scarred by those things that we got taught as children and as teenagers, that we want to fit in, you know, kind of keep your head down and just do whatever and fit into the little box that somebody else creates for you. And that was a problem for me. I wasn't happy with how that worked. And because I didn't particularly like high school. In fact, as that same sophomore, I was exploring what colleges that I wanted to go to, because I wanted to get out of high school. And I'm thankful that I was able to grow past that. But I still find myself, and as network marketers, I still see that we try and be part of the crowd. We want to be a cool kid, you know, and it's just to our detriment. So Ed Mylett hit the nail on the head when he said, when we're seeking that approval, we can't break free. And freedom is what we want. Now, most people, right, have a 401k that they contribute somewhere between 3 and 5% of their salary to each month. And then hopefully their company will match maybe 50%, or shoot, even 100% would be great for some companies. Some people don't even have a 401k. I don't have a 401k. I liquidated my 401k in 2021. Now, before all of my financial advisor friends jump in and tell me what a moron I am, I didn't abandon my retirement. I just abandoned that particular vehicle. I've been taught by some really smart people that the tax code has 10,000 pages in it, and there's roughly like 5 that tell us what taxes we have to pay, and the rest of them how not to pay taxes. Okay, so one of those pages is section 401-K, which says that you can put aside money pre-tax from your employer, and it will grow at a tax-free rate. The dirty secret there is that when you start pulling it out, you get taxed on it. So here's the thing. People will tell you, hey, I don't need as much money when I'm older. And now granted, I'm not going to need to be paying for my children and for things to happen, but I don't anticipate my quality of life dropping because I turned 65. In fact, this is the time of my life when I plan to be traveling the world. And so why would I want to do that? So I found a different vehicle. We're excited. I'm investing in some other vehicles that are secure, that are safe from the stock market dips that will be coming, and they allow me to do that. That's one of those things where I'm not seeking approval. I have a great friend who is a financial planner, a very successful financial planner. And his advice is exactly the opposite of what I've done, I think. And that's fine. I don't seek his approval. He's still my friend. It's great that he's able to help his clients as he does, but I'm not one of his clients, and that's okay. Network marketing is a business model that, while we seek approval because we're trying to recruit other people, at the same time, we're also going against that grain. I mean, I was having a conversation with a gentleman about network marketing and how it's almost become, it has become a meme that, oh, look, I was worried an Amway meeting was going to break out, right? That's a meme. Like, if I say, oh, I got an Amway presentation for you, you know what I'm going to say. You know what I'm going to talk about. If somebody from high school reaches out to me 25 years later, and I haven't spoken to them since the day we graduated, and he says, I've got a business opportunity, guess what? I know exactly what's going to happen. Now, for me, I'm going to listen because I know the value that is there. There are many people who would turn a jaundiced eye at that particular idea, at that particular plan. And that's fine. That's for them to deal with. That's not for me to judge. And not everybody is going to be prepared for the opportunity that you present. Let me say that again. Not everybody is going to be prepared for the opportunity that you present. I know that the opportunities that I've been given, it's funny to look back on it. I have seen opportunities grow out of the most dire consequences, the most dire situations. Things that I never would have had an opportunity to do came about because something bad happened. I got laid off. I wasn't able to complete a project. I failed at something. And then I learned, and then I grew. My son, my youngest, is, I will say, forced to play the piano. He's incredibly good at it. For 11 years old, he plays the piano very, very well. But he's been playing a song recently that's difficult. It's by, you guys may have seen the Piano Guys on YouTube. It's by John Schmidt, who's the piano guy of the Piano Guys. And it's one of his most famous songs called Waterfall. And it is amazing, and it sounds awesome. It's more incredible still when you find out that John Schmidt wrote it at age 14, which just blows my mind. But Max is trying to work on this, and he's gotten to a part that's just frustrating for him. And in fact, our piano teacher wants him to basically be able to spread his fingers further apart. He's got 11-year-old hands, and he's trying to spread them in order to jump an octave. And he's like, it hurts. It hurts my hands physically. He's yelling at me, and I don't take it too well when my kids yell at me. But I understood. I'm like, Max, that's how you grow. In order for it to work, in order for you to get better, in order for you to grow, it has to hurt. So often we're avoiding pain in our lives. But that pain and the honesty that we can approach that pain with will really determine our success moving forward. That pain hurts. But from that pain comes the growth. It's very difficult to bench press 300 pounds. I have a friend who just posted a video of him doing it after an injury a couple of years ago and was all excited about it. I was excited for him. I can't bench press more than about my body weight. I would love to be able to bench press 225. I would love that. That is a goal. Now, it's not one that I have actively pursued. I say it's a goal, but really I haven't really worked hard at it. He's been working hard, but he had to start at 155, and then 170, and then 190, and then 200, and then 205, and he kept adding, and he kept adding, and his muscles were sore, and he didn't start one morning and the next morning lift 300 pounds. It didn't happen. Growth takes time. Growth is painful. I always kid around about my kids. They'll have growing pains. I remember having them as a kid too, where you just ache. Your muscles ache, your joints ache, and now my muscles and joints ache for a different reason. It's not growing anymore. But the analogy there is still the same: is that the body's putting in work to actually physically grow. My 11-year-old has sprouted, probably grown 4 inches in the past 6 months, but it is growth that it happens under tension. And unless you are actively seeking out that tension and that opportunity to grow, you won't find it. So, as with everything in life, network marketing is a metaphor for life. I coach baseball. Baseball is a metaphor for life. But network marketing is much the same in that when we grow, it comes through pain. The obstacle is the way. I reread that book at the end of last year, at the end of 2020, and it rang even more true. And the obstacle becomes the vehicle that we use. Weak things will become strong. That's how we learn and how we grow. And I can't stress it enough. If we want to really grow, we can't try and do things that we've always done. You do things you always done, you get what you always got, right? Was it they love to quote, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Well, so often, especially in network marketing, we try the same thing over and over again. We make that list of 100 people. We talk to all our friends and family members. We go out and we talk to strangers or engage people on Facebook and spam them or send messages in mass quantities to individuals. Do those things really work? Once or twice. But as you continue to do them, are you going to get the success that you're looking for? Are you going to Facebook post your way to a multi-million-dollar income? Absolutely not. It's not going to happen. You're going to have to get uncomfortable. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. I just finished a book called Deliberate Discomfort. Highly recommend it. But it talks about how Green Berets are actively looking for discomfort so that they can grow, so that they can learn. I had an interview with a gentleman, and he was talking about how, hey, look, we're going to find faults with you. And that's okay. We're going to be critical. That's okay. We're trying to make everybody better. It is a, when you polish something, it's with grit. When for Christmas, I made my wife a cutting board out of butcher block. And it was a gift that she was anticipating, so I didn't get any teary-eyed response with it. But I spent a lot of time sanding that block of wood. Probably a couple of hours sanding. In fact, it still needs some more sanding. And that grit, that sandpaper, is what smooths out those rough edges and makes things clean. It makes them smooth. With metal, you polish with some sort of a grit, and you can get that mirror shine. You don't get it without that grit, without that toughness, without that, for us, without that tenacity and that persistence to keep doing what's hard, even and most especially when it's hard. So you guys, don't be afraid to stand out. In fact, look for the opportunity to stand out. You cannot cash other people's expectations or other people's opinions of you. They don't cash at the bank. If they think you are the neatest person in the world, you can't take that and cash it for $1,000 at your local bank. It doesn't work. But you can step out, be an example for others, lead them towards the promised rewards that you're seeking, and be excited and helpful as you do it. You guys, make 2021 one of the best. We'll see you next week. Hey, thanks for listening, and please remember to subscribe. And if you loved us, leave us an awesome review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you consume your podcasts. Now, if you'd like some free training for your team on how your recruiting efforts can be bettered and brought into the 21st century, go to podcast.mlmrenegade.com and get your copy of the Renegade Recruiting Kickstarter.